Welcome to the Gals Guide to the Galaxy podcast, where a group of gals gather for you one cool thing around our topic of the month. Is it ancient history? Is it breaking news? Is it safe for work? Well, that's up to each gal. All we know is that...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Welcome back. I am Leah, and I am joined by Bonnie, Katie, and Claire, and we are talking about our one cool art gal. So, Claire already talked about Claude Cahun, and Bonnie already talked about Judy Chicago's dinner party, and Katie talked about Imogene Cunningham. Sorry, I had to kind of say it like Happy Days, like, Richie Cunningham. But before we dive back in, I'm going to tell you what's on the Gals Guide calendar for this week, and I don't know why I'm using my Victorian voice. So, for the week of March 28th through April 3rd, we have book club on Zoom. Katie, did you know this?
Nice.
We have book club. It is led by
my calendar.
You really should, because it's led by our lovely Katie Harris. So join us as we talk about Georgia, a novel about Georgia O'Keeffe, written by Dawn Tripp. So that is on Thursday, March 31st at 8 p.m. Don't forget to register beforehand. That way you can get that trusty Zoom link and you can register and check out all of the calendar events at galsguide.org. So what I want to know is my mischievous get-to-know-you question is, do you have a favorite piece of art? And for Claire, what her third favorite piece of... No, I'm just kidding. She can tell us her first or her third, or she can rank them by color, choice, and time period, any which way she wants to.
Well, I did buy a print by Bonnie, so it screws up my order now.
This is true.
Because you didn't specify art I own, art
I
I've
didn't.
seen, art that exists
It
in the
could
world.
be art by Bonnie? I didn't specify.
So one of my favorite works of art ever is a painting by Artemisia Gentileschi.
Oh my God, yes, queen.
And of
yes.
course, it is Judith Slaying Holofernes.
Yes.
But I'm snooty, and I like the one in the Uffizi better.
What's the Uffizi? Which color dress is she wearing?
The gold.
Thank you. Okay, because there's a gold one, a blue one, and a red one. That's the only way I know them.
So the reason I prefer this one is because I was very, very, very fortunate in graduate school, and I got a scholarship, and I got to go to Italy, and it was to see this painting.
Yes!
And it's amazing. So for people who haven't seen it,
tell the story, because it's amazing.
It's a Baroque painting, and it's based off the story of Judith slaying Holofernes. The title is very nice.
Exactly. Yes, Bible story.
But
yes.
You have Judith, and she is hacking off the head of this mean, ugly, bearded dude. And what's really nice about Artemisia's work is you can actually tell which is her work and quit attributing it to her father because the hands actually hold stuff and do things.
That's incredible that's the way that you can tell.
She's pulling his hair.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's actually gripping onto things versus, I
know.
can barely touch this.
Like it's dainty things on lady fingertips because they got too much philosophy back then. But she's like, no, I'm a lady. I have hands. They hold things. And it's going to hold this sword.
Exactly. And when I'm angry, they're going to be clenched.
And not only is she fantastic at like anatomy, which you're not supposed to do as a woman.
Oh, yes, right.
And painting, which you weren't supposed to do as a woman.
Right,
back then.
but her father did.
And murder, which you weren't supposed to do as a woman back then.
Then maybe she shouldn't have been raped.
But the blood spurting is scientifically accurate. Like she was friends with Galileo. And so it's not only art,
it's science. Exactly.
She is a woman in STEAM.
There you go. Totally. Absolutely.
Murder science.
I know. I call her my revenge-fueled painter.
Oh, my goodness.
Because it's just such... her story is just, incredible.
And her art is fabulous.
I want to see it in person one of these days. It tours every now and again. Is it coming?
I'm pulling up I don't know if it's going to be there, but I'm pulling up a thing.
Yes.
In Detroit.
Oh, man, Detroit.
Through...
I grew up in Michigan, so anytime something's in Michigan, there's a groan from me.
The Detroit Institute of Arts has, by her hand, Artemisia Gentileschi and women artists in Italy, 1500 to 1800, through May 29th.
So it's now through May 29th.
Yes.
Oh,
sometimes people... go ahead.
It was in Boston a couple months ago, like in the fall. So this seems like it's the traveling...
It's the traveling
show.
one.
So it may come to a town near you.
Okay, because our gal pal Debbie saw it in Ohio at one point. So, yeah. Oh, that's
So-
interesting.
Because I have people who will tag me on Instagram because I'm annoying on social media.
No, you're lovely on social media.
I'm lovely on social media. Follow me. It's Claire Lockhart, Claire with a K.
I like it, yes.
But they tag me when they go see artwork by women.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I wish more people would do it. It's fun.
Yes,
Nice.
exactly. There you go. So tag Claire if you find beautiful artwork by women, or you know what, crappy artwork by women. Just tag Claire.
Or
tag
any art that's
Claire
interesting.
likes to be tagged.
I like to look at the art. Show me. Actually, I love it when people show me their own artwork.
Yes,
That could
exactly.
change my ranking too.
Yes, this is very true.
Oh my gosh, change my favorite work of art. Show
Yes.
me your favorite work.
That could be a new hashtag.
Well, that's my Where's My Medici hashtag.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Because
Yes.
you make artwork, you want someone to buy it.
Right.
Use Where's My Medici, and I will promote it.
Oh, see, look at that.
I
Artist
know.
listen.
I know. Let's all get famous together, guys.
I like it. Yes, let's do it. All right, you two. Favorite art piece? Do you have one? What could it be? Third favorite? First favorite?
So keeping up in theme with the dinner party here.
Yes.
One of my favorite ones learning about in contemporary art history was Interior Scroll.
Oh, no.
I love it!
What is that one?
Oh, it's
Insider art jokes, but it's not a joke.
Oh.
The
No,
rest of us don't know.
Katie, you made the best joke ever by saying insider art
Yeah.
joke.
Oh no.
It's by Carly. I'm gonna guess it's
Is it
Sheeman,
Yeah.
Sheeman.
but I don't remember what exactly she wrote on it. But
You know where she
this
put it.
lady shoved a scroll up there
It wasn't
and was
inside
doing this performance where she's just nude and she's just pulling it out and reading as she goes along, and it's amazing. I
Wow.
love it.
Insider art. That was good, Katie. You had no
Yeah.
idea.
Such a good inside
It was
joke.
like I pretended I didn't know, but I really knew.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I made
yeah.
that best joke, but I didn't know.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you just
Exactly.
shouldn't have
Yeah.
said anything.
Choreographed. That is
Speaking of not knowing,
amazing.
I don't
Yeah.
know the author of the artwork I'm thinking about.
Okay. The
But I have to
artist.
say,
of
the
yeah,
artist.
yeah.
The artist. I don't know. Oh, shit.
I can try to help you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, we're not going to have a Google marathon.
We're not gonna have a Google.
I already
enough.
tried.
Aw,
It's not
man.
happening. I don't have
Aw.
enough details for you.
Okay. Yes.
But I'm just thinking, if we're going with absolute favorites, it's got to
Yeah.
be one that just sticks in your mind.
Yes.
And so, like, I in high school didn't pay that much attention to art,
Yeah.
but we took a trip to the Chicago Art Museum, and they had an exhibit on photography,
Yeah.
and they had an exhibit of a photographer who took pictures of kind of the aftermath of Hiroshima.
Oh,
And not like
yeah.
right aftermath, but years later. And I just remember this photo of this woman bathing her son that had developmental defects from
Yeah. From
what had
Russia-
happened
yeah.
at Hiroshima. And like I can
Remember
still
that.
just like I can visualize it.
I
but
remember
don't
that
know
picture. I know what
who
you're talking about. Yeah.
took it,
Right.
but that would probably be a favorite for me. It
Yeah.
was very impactful.
Yeah, exactly. Hauntingly beautiful. I was debating between a couple of different ones, some that, you know, are just kind of like light and fun. Every time I think of the George Seurat one, I think of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. You know what I'm talking about? So like that one to me is like quite fun. But my favorite, and because it's artwork, I'm also going to go photography. Mine's the Tank Man. The Tiananmen Square, the man with the groceries. And it's contentious of who. I've seen documentaries of the photographers who were on balconies. There was like 3 photographers. They all fight over which photo was theirs because it's just variants, different angles and things like that. But I was inspired by that, and I actually wanted that to be my film production logo. But because it's still, you know, like whose rights is it and contentious, I actually picked the Speaker's Corner photo. Have you ever seen this one? It's an old grade man holding a book up on Speaker's Corner in London, and it's a crowd right about to like attack him. And to me, it felt very much like the Tiananmen Square. Because I just like something bold like that, where it's like stand up for the things you believe in, even when you're gonna get killed for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be that single fighting force. So
Will that be kind of like the woman with the sunflower seeds in Ukraine now?
yeah. Right? Exactly.
Great.
Yeah.
I am
Uh-huh.
loving
Yeah.
anytime anyone asks anybody from Ukraine anything. They're all great.
Exactly.
Like, the
It is-
Babushka Brigade.
Yes.
All of them. But I was thinking, don't we have a book in the library that is... Maybe we don't have it. Maybe it's just on the wish list. I was thinking it was a photograph.
You thinking this one?
Yes.
I
that
knew
one.
it was this one.
Oh yeah.
This is
I
about
remember
the
that one,
girl
too.
in the photo.
Yeah.
Her name is Kim Fook. PHUC, and it's the girl who was running away from the bombs in...
I think it's the napalm, right? Because they're
so,
literally
'cause her
like burning the clothes off
Her
of
clothes
them.
were melted. Yeah,
Yeah.
a civilian victim of a napalm attack.
Yeah.
And it's that famous photo. And it's her entire life. And that one just was checked out of the library and just came back. So that's why it's sitting there.
Is that from
intense.
Hiroshima or is that Vietnam? It's Vietnam?
It's probably
It says Vietnam.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yes, but still, napalm is horrible. I don't recommend. 0 stars.
Oh my gosh. Did we all pick violent artwork?
I know, right? I think, you know what?
violent.
I think we picked powerful. You know what I mean? Powerful artwork that meant something to us. So, yes, nothing wrong with that. Now, what I should have said was that it is a tie between Bonnie Fillenore's Hedy Lamarr and Claire Lockhart's Pirate.
Oh, yes.
Does Pirate actually have a name?
Oh, it's Clara the Red.
Oh, Clara the Red. Thank you very much. I need to remember that because I'm just going, it's Claire
Not for
Lockhart's
the color
Pirate.
of her hair,
Clara the Red.
but
Yes.
from the blood of her enemies.
Yards! Ahoy! I love it. So, yes. Keep making fabulous art, like darlings. All of you. Do you want to hear about my cool lady?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So my cool lady, if you have been to the Girls Guide Library and you have been to the life skills section, we don't have a self-help section, we call it life skills. Or even the art section at the Girls Guide Library, odds are you have come to me and you have said, I'm looking to jumpstart my creativity and I'm just not sure like what I should get. I've been out of the creative game, art game, writing game, whatever. 9 times out of 10, you're going to leave with a SARK book. Because that's what I really tell people. I'm like, check out a SARK book. SARK is an author. She has written 17 colorful books over the last 30 years. SARK actually stands for Susan Ariel Rainbow Kennedy.
Nice.
She is a beautiful hippie chick. That is her real name.
I love the four-named ladies.
Exactly. So her website, Planet SARK, it says, quote, she is a beacon of hope in a chaotic world.
I'm getting the vibe that she's like 1970s Lisa Frank.
She kind of is, but with a hippy-dippy, inspirational Oprah before there was Oprah.
Nice.
You have me looking at a
sense.
book right now.
I know.
And
yes.
I'm just going to say the first 4 chapters are invite someone dangerous to tea,
Yes.
hug trees,
Yes.
follow a child,
Yeah.
celebrate an old person.
Right.
That's my agenda for tomorrow now.
Look at that. You should also look at this one, Live and Juicy. Did you look at Live and Juicy?
I'm
Okay.
gonna.
All right. Here, pass it over to
almost
Katie for
looks
Live
like
and
it would
Juicy.
be like a flip book because it's got all these
It
little
does.
figures. Like I feel like they would do a dance.
I'm sure in one of her books they probably actually do. So I will also say the reason why I say 9 out of 10, okay, is because sometimes people come in and all the SARK books are checked out, okay? So that'll probably be the only time that I don't actually send you home with a SARK book is because they're all gone. So, but SARK was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota in 1954. She wrote her first book at the age of 10.
Nice.
I love it when people write books early. She went on to pursue a higher education in community arts, radio, and television program. In 1982, she started using the name SARK. She just was making artwork. She was making posters. She was 28 when she was kind of reinventing herself. She had just moved to San Francisco with $30 in her pocket. For the 2 years before she moved to San Francisco, she lived on the barter system. She lived my dream.
That makes sense to me.
Yes!
I don't understand capitalism.
Exactly.
I will give you a drawing.
Yeah.
You give me dinner.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Give me cookies.
Right. I
Here's a
love the barter system. I absolutely adore it. So she earned enough money, though, working in San Francisco, actually getting money from her artwork to really buy a tiny building that she called her Magic Cottage.
Nice.
So in 1989, she created a poster, and the poster was called How to Be an Artist. So in an interview, she said, quote, the only reason why my poster, How to Be an Artist, actually became a thing and ever became known and went to sell 2.5 million copies was because of my cat. So Juniper was her cat who would get up on his tiny little legs and peel the poster off the wall. And it would land on the floor and it would wake her up in the morning. And she said, for 5 days this went on. And I finally said, well, maybe I'm supposed to do something with this thing. So she offered it for sale in a catalog in a local metaphysical store. And the poster quickly became popular, selling more than 1,000 copies a week.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
These were handmade.
Oh.
She did not have a printer print these in the 80s.
Wow.
So they were produced by hand. And she
1,000 of them a week? Oh my god.
Was she using printmaking or hand doing?
Hand doing.
It
Okay.
looks like
Yeah.
handwritten like marker.
Right,
Okay.
exactly. Because they're very juicy markers.
Okay.
Wow.
So she lacked a facility for mass production, and she made them by hand. She had a system that she devised to actually kind of produce them. She used a space in a garage without permission. So anytime that they would come in, she would kind of hide them underneath tarps when the owners were approaching. But the posters led to such success as a publishing company came knocking and said, hey, would you like to do a book? So her first book, A Creative Companion, she wrote it in 2 weeks. Exactly. And that's the first book that I ever got by SARK was The Creative Companion. Because I'm like, I need somebody, like, I grew up around, let's say, mechanics and yuppies. You know, I didn't grow up around creative people. So when I saw something that was The Creative Companion, I'm like, it's a book. It's my friend. So this book was all about how to free your creative spirit. It was like half self-help, which you can kind of see in the books that I was showing you. Half journal, too. And it had creative activities for you to do in it. So here were some of the exercises that are in the Creative Companion. Try studying something in nature for an hour or longer, like snails or ants, butterflies or leaves, right? She also tells the writers to remember that your desire to feel creativity is free and very important. So it's one of those things where it doesn't cost you anything to be creative, to use your creative mind. So I love that. So all these books are like handwritten. I mean, now it's mass produced, so you know what I mean? There's copies. But I mean, it's not typewriter, it's not digital pages. It's, you know, handwritten pages to you. And it just has so much joy and crazy and positivity in it and creativity in it. I love it. But if you start to like kind of look beyond the colorful artwork and the activities, you start to see that with that joy, there's a lot of honesty and there's a lot of vulnerability in her work. So she has sections in books called How to Forgive Your Father, right? Throughout all of her books, she talks about the good times and she talks about the bad times. She talks about eating disorders. She talks about depression. She even suffered sexual abuse by her brother. It's like, you know what I mean? There's bad and then there's worse. Yeah, exactly. So SARK said in an interview with the Daily Dot, quote, I insisted on the bright colors because initially someone could think this is one thing, but then it gets them to go deep without realizing that they're doing it. And I like that. I never wanted to approach it like, here's a tough book about incest and depression, suicide and sadness, and how to learn to live with these things. Yeah. So I like it because it's like this podcast, a spoonful of sugar. You learn about history, which some people think is boring. Who are these people? With a, you know, nice, funny, lovely ladies to talk about it. So, but like, here are the titles that a lot of them we have at the library, but the titles are Changing Your Life Without Getting Out of Bed. Inspiration Sandwich. Yes, exactly. Right. Okay. Katie's down with number one.
Yep. That's all I ever wanted.
Juicy Pens Thirsty Paper. That one makes me think of Bonnie because Bonnie always has like an assorted amount of like pens of different colors.
I have a Wonder Woman makeup bag.
Yeah, you do.
I have my pens and Sharpies in.
I love it. It's beautiful. Juicy Pens. Living Juicy. Fabulous Friendship Festival. Eat Mangoes Naked. Transformation Soup and Prosperity Pie. Now, these are two separate books, but you should get them together. I highly recommend them. Glad No Matter What. And her most famous book is called Succulent Wild Woman. And that one is really about owning your sacred womanhood, living in your sacred womanhood. And she realized, you know what? There's a lot of dudes and non-binary people that are also succulent as well. So she wrote the Bodacious Book of Succulents. Because she wanted to include...
It's nice to be inclusive.
Right, exactly. Yes, she knew that women needed that permission, but then she also saw that it's wait a minute, you know what I mean? Guys need this and non-binary need this as well. So I love it. So her books have sold millions of copies. She is a speaker. She is a teacher. She has a newsletter, and she has a TED Talk, actually. Her TED Talk is very funny. Her TED Talk talks about succulents and how she kind of came to this term and how she kind of embraced this term of succulents. She has a really big online community. So she was one of the very early on internet peeps. So she was in San Francisco, and it was 1998. Forums were starting to very much become a thing. You're trying to remember the forum thing in San Francisco?
No, I'm trying to wonder if she's in broadband.
She might even be in broadband because she did have some forums. So SARK, it's a possibility. We'll have to look it up. Broadband was one of the wonderful books that Bonnie covered on the podcast at one point.
I see it.
Exactly, right?
Grab it. I can't get over there.
So this is what SARK said about the internet. She said, quote, "I feel like I've been waiting all my life for the internet to catch up with me." So in 1998, she started Camp SARK. Does Camp SARK sound familiar from that book? See if it's in the back.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, if it's in the appendix. But the Camp SARK was an online community forum. And it had a message board.
Confused.
We have wrapped this one upside down.
Oh my God.
I was like, why is it happening
That was probably
to
me. I think I've done most of these.
Oops. We just need to retape it.
Okay. Nothing happened. Everything's okay.
It's a glitch in the matrix. It's fine.
Exactly. It's a test, to see if you can actually figure out which way a book goes. Do you see Camp SARK or SARK? It's one of those things. They were very much, in broadband, they were very much talking about the ladies who were setting up internet databases and connection routers and early internet fun. Exactly. However, so nowadays that same group of people from 1998 in the early internet forums, they're now on Facebook messages groups. So they're still a lot of them are still talking on Facebook. The reason for the internet connection being really, really strong for her is a practice of trying to be authentic to people, which is really, really interesting. So SARK told the Daily Dot, quote, "Our joy, our sadness are together are like bird wings. They operate in concert." She says that when we use social media to post just about one or the other, only post about how sad we are, or only post when it's a great time we're having, nobody gains anything. People don't understand how much more emotionally intimate they can be if they share things that are in the fullness of their experience. So she was one of those people who were already in a very vulnerable, this is my authentic person, it's ugly, it's warts and all, take it. And then the internet is like, you know what we should do? We should be vulnerable and authentic and show, you know what I mean? So It was that waiting for the world to kind of be ready for her. So instead of just posting the good stuff in life, people really started, daring to be their true selves. And that's exactly what SARK has been writing about for decades. How to be vulnerable yet inspiring is really kind of what she's all about. And that's why I highly recommend her when anybody's coming into the library. So she is a magical sage, is what I call her. She is whimsical. She is authentic. She brings out that inner child with these books that are so colorful and cute. And I really think she inspires you to see life more in color. Her website says this is her purpose, and I love this. Her purpose is to be a transformer, an uplifter, a laser beam of love, and she does that through her art, her words, and her spirit.
Oh,
so I thought
beautiful.
That was cute, right? So now when you hear me where's that SARK book, you're going to totally know what I'm talking about and what I'm looking for. Because they're amazing. Have you ever read a SARK book?
No.
Have you ever seen a SARK book? I need to take y'all to more metaphysical New Age stores.
Well,
That's mostly where I find them.
I've been looking to join a coven.
Oh,
lately.
okay. An oven full of witches? Yes.
yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. Yes. Perfect.
I feel like in the mid-90s, I had a bookmark designed by SARK sold at Scholastic.
Probably. Yes. Even though she didn't
like
really
these
make
twirls and
Yes.
You're
That
just
or
like
Lisa
the
Frank.
style.
You're just definitely
No,
doing
she's
your
better.
elder millennial flex tonight.
I am.
I love it.
I'm bringing it hard.
Representing.
No, like this is like I could never reach Lisa Frank level because I don't have that much energy as a person.
Right.
These doodles are more where I'm at.
Yes.
This is my Lisa Frank.
Right.
Love
Yes.
it.
Absolutely. This is more realism, right?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous where
My
you're at
life
with
isn't
finger paints.
A fluorescent unicorn. It's a half-ass swirl.
Yes.
It's done in a bright pink.
That is done one time and in 2 seconds.
Yeah, we like it could be a snail shell.
It could be whatever you want it to be. Exactly.
Neons and
It's
minerals.
inspiration sandwich.
And you don't have to get out of bed to do it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, that book is amazing. I think it's called like The Napper's Dream or something like that. I mean, you're so great. She will find inspiration wherever you are at.
I like picked out some words from it, and it's very like honest, but not morose.
Right, exactly. Not
And I
morose.
feel like we're kind of like the last few years have been in kind of a down place.
Right.
We like might all need a sprinkling of SARK going
I
on.
think so.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're so popular at the library, besides
Yeah.
my pushing.
The recommendation.
But not only that, it's so hard to say no to these cute little books if you're kind of, if you're struggling a little bit. You're like, that's what'll bring you up.
You've never told me about these. It's probably because you want them to stay in circulation, huh?
No, it's
And
because,
you know I don't bring back my library books.
well, I mean, there is that. But it's also, usually it's about creativity. And I know Katie's like, I don't art, nor do I craft.
Nah, that's true. I'm never like, help me do a crafty, arty, righty thing.
Right. But you know what? The next time Succulent Wild Woman comes back, we have 2 copies.
Yes.
I'm holding it for Katie.
I might need that.
I think you really like it. I also think you'll read it in like a half an hour. I mean, these books are really, like, these are not, these do not take a lot of time, but they are amazing. So, any questions about SARK?
Oh.
I mean, you guys notice one of her names is Ariel, right? That she's a mermaid.
Yes.
Also, there's a Kennedy in there. I do not know if it's
rainbow?
I do not know if it's a
Is
Kennedy.
there a rainbow,
but
though?
yeah, there's a rainbow.
There's a rainbow.
Yep. So it is. Oh my gosh, I'm going back into the. Oh no. See, once I go, there you go, Susan. I always want to call her Sarah for some reason. Susan Ariel Rainbow Kennedy, better known as SARK, SARK. So there you go. Sweet. Then should I wrap it up for the entire month? Oh no, because then this means we lose Claire. Okay,
I don't wanna
nope,
go.
Nope, okay, nope. We can't wrap it up. We have to live in this library forever so that we never lose Claire. Except that Katie has... What has Katie done?
My ears just they shed on my chest.
Oh, yeah, this is true. I gave you the bad headphones.
Yeah, it's not technically my ears. That'd be
I thought
weird.
you were.
I figured it wasn't actually your ears. Thank
I thought
goodness.
you were christening something with booze again.
No. God.
I thought you were
am I not
becoming a
making
Van
mess?
Gogh over there. You're like, that's it. I'm going full artist. Cutting off my own ear.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I better get those SARK books in fast then.
Stat.
All right, well, that wraps it up for Art Gals Month. Next month, we're going to get all natural as we celebrate Naturalist Gals. So we hope to see you soon at the Gals Guide Library, and thank you so much for listening. For show notes, links, and images from this week's show, visit galsguide.org. Want exclusive stuff like deleted bits and major bloopers? Become a Gals Guide patron today. Thanks for listening.